Welcome to Bosnia. On the west side of the country you can find Mostar, where there's pretty much one of the coziest old towns that I've ever been to. There's also really great street art and graffiti all over the place. And due to the Yugoslavia war, there's abandoned buildings we can explore all over the city, including a 10-story sniper tower. In the 1400s, before the Ottomans came here, this town was a village of about 20 houses. In the 1500s, the Ottomans built the Stari Most bridge. The people I've met around town describe this bridge as a reunifier of both sides of the river. On the east side is mostly Muslims, and on the west side is mostly Christians. They've got 2 hospitals, 2 school systems, and 2 football teams. This area on either side of the bridge is called the Old Bazaar. Aside from the swarms of tourists here, you'll find souvenir shops dotting the road selling everything from tea sets to rugs. There's also an assortment of restaurants, coffee shops, and dessert shops. The ruins you see around me are just one example of the damage from the Yugoslavia conflict in the 1990s. Luckily, they rebuilt the Stari Most bridge in 2004 to its prior glory. But a lot of the town wasn't so lucky. This area around Santica Street was a front line during the war. 177 apartments and 27 houses were destroyed during it. There's still quite a few abandoned structures on the block left over, in varying states of decay. Lots of them have collapsed roofs and have been grown over like a temple at Siem Reap. Well, in others you might find household items from like 30 years ago sitting on the shelf. Almost all of them have some form of graffiti, and some of them actually have murals painted onto the side. Nobody's gonna stop you from entering these buildings, but be careful. As I climbed around, I had a couple close calls with like a rusty nail and a couple of bricks that fell out from under me. Up the street a little bit here is some apartment complexes. There are murals, it looks like maybe on the end of each one of the buildings. And these are pretty well done. And they got names on them too. Artez 2020. That one is erictburke.com Street Art Festival. Mostar has held a street art festival for the past 10 years. Over that time, people have come from all over the globe to contribute to what you see here on Santica Street. The purpose of these murals is to both reunite the 2 sides of the city and to offer a counter to the destruction you see around the block, which is often a trigger for PTSD in the older population here. We're just walking through this neighborhood when I can see multiple of these murals in sight. They're so vivid that it kind of floods your sensory stream. I think they really did some good here. Just south of Santica Street, I was checking out some murals and spray painting, and I ran into these kids. What do you guys try to say with your drawings, or do you have a goal with your drawings?
They are associated with the football club on this side of Mostar. On the other side there's another football club, and they hate each other.
Yeah.
So it's like a war zone. They come in right here,
Yeah?
they throw a firecracker, and then they bust in, and then it happens all the time.
You want to paint?
Yeah.
Do you guys want to be professional graffiti artists or anything? Or just for fun? Professional.
Professional.
Will you go to school or just learn as much as you can?
We don't have school for graffiti.
I was going to go to the old bank, the 10-story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's yes and no good idea. Nekoliko je poginulo.
Many people died in it.
Uh-huh.
Like after the war, they just like fall either off of it or in a hole that's in it. Yeah, and there are many visible holes, and it's not very stable because, you know, it's a ruin.
This is my tag.
Cool.
Thank you.
Yeah, have a good day.
See you again.
Yeah, likewise.
Goodbye.
Back in the 1970s, this mall was actually famous for its architecture, which features medieval Bosnian gravestone carvings. Yeah, you can see this building's been boarded up for quite a while with the accumulation of spray paint all over it. These days you have to actually climb into the basement and walk through piles of debris in the pitch black to get inside. Oh wow, check out this collapsed ceiling slash floor. You gotta wonder how recently that this fell down. Here's where the floor collapsed over here. You can see it down there. But let's go up here onto the roof. Somebody told me that generals from the Bosniak side were held up in this mall during the war. I'm not sure if it's because of the basement, but it seems like maybe they were using it as a bunker. Let's check out the view onto the surrounding neighborhood. Here we are at the abandoned bank, or the sniper tower. It's kind of crazy to imagine, but 30 years ago, if you were standing here, you might be in the crosshairs of a sniper. Look at all the bullet holes all over this. And also look at how the street art incorporates the damage. Alright, so just around the corner is supposed to be where you can hop the fence. In 1991, before the war, this building was set to become the headquarters of the commercial bank of Mostar. Walking up these stairs today, it's more like walking onto the set of a post-apocalyptic film. I went to the museum today and I saw the bodies. I felt the shaking earth and blood. A game of power for the powerful, destroying everything in its path. Man against man, consumed by hate blind. That's thoughtful. Somebody actually came up here and wrote that. The building is smack in the middle of the west side of the city, which the Croat forces controlled during the conflict. And with the highest vantage point looking over to the east side of the river, it became the perfect place to station their snipers. Now I gotta find the stairwell to get to the roof. Aha. That's what I'm looking for.
Hi.
Hey, Angliski? No. Just come to see the view?
Yes.
All right. Check it out. For the first couple days in Mostar, every time I passed by the bridge, nobody was jumping. But then one day, I found these guys. You guys gonna jump?
Yeah, we got this.
Any last words?
No.
Okay, second guy going. Well, there you have it. These guys just jumped into nearly freezing water. Certificate?
Jumping normal.
2 new members of the diving club.
Yeah, okay.
A lot of people I spoke to made it sound like there's some friction between the east and the west side of Mostar. Since I'd spent most of my time on the west side, I hiked up onto the east side one day just to see what it was like for myself. Then I ran into these guys. Oh, these kids are like blowing up firecrackers. Go, we're done.
This is called Super TNT.
Okay. Yeah, let me get that. I ran into some other people that told me that there was like fights, like gang fights in this town.
Yeah, we have like one club called the Village, and on the other side of the Neretva,
there is a stadium of ultras.
ultras like Zrinski, and
And in Vrapčići, there village stadium. We love village.
and
Okay.
sometimes from other side of Neretva, people come in there and fight us.
Are the gangs associated with like different regions? Like is one associated with
There's one
Croat and one Serbian?
On the other side of Neretva, there are like 80% of Christians.
Okay.
I think 20 of them are Muslims. We are on here Muslims.
Okay. All right, well, salam alaikum.
Salam alaikum is like hello when you're entering. Allah imanet is when are you going? Allah.
Allah.
Allah imana.
Allah man.
Imanet.
Allah imana.
Yeah, that's it. That's
Okay.
Allah
it. Yeah,
man.
practice.
Cool. On that note, see you guys.
Yeah.